My daughter holds a grudge against me for the divorce. If only she knew the truth. My daughter, who is 27, is getting married in August. She hasn't invited my wife or our children, and I am very hurt. And I told her that since my family wasn't welcome, I shouldn't be welcome either.
Dang.
She was angry with me and has called me crying, saying that I am an a-hole for doing this to her, since who is going to walk her down the aisle? A little backstory. My daughter was a happy child until she was 13, and her mom and I divorced. She was devastated, and we did everything from therapy, etc. She couldn't fathom what was going on since we were a happy family. I met my beautiful wife 4 years later, and it was the second blow to her, since she lived with the hope that her mom and I would reconcile. She never liked my wife, even with the effort my wife showed later in the relationship. Now my wife and our small children aren't welcome at her wedding. Everyone else is, including her mom's new boyfriend and his sons. Huh? Maybe a little one-sided treatment over here.
Teensy bit imbalance.
She told me that she was free to invite whoever she wanted on her big day, and I totally agree with her and support her decision, but then shouldn't I also be free to decline the invitation?
Ooh.
Oh! Am I the a-hole here?
Well, I mean, if you're gonna get me, like, you're gonna get my family. Like, this is a package deal over here.
Honey.
Yeah. So far, OP is the a-hole. I'm saying it.
Everyone in the comments, put who you think is the a-hole. Are there any angels here? Is everyone an a-hole? But there is an update. We're gonna get into it. Thanks, everyone. As I expected, nobody is the a-hole here. I understand that my daughter doesn't like my family, and I wish that I knew how to tackle this situation earlier. I thought I was doing the right thing by giving her space. When my ex told me that she wasn't in love with me anymore and that she wanted to see other people, we got a divorce and we didn't tell my daughter the reason. Then my ex changed her mind a year later and wanted a reconciliation for the sake of our daughter. Everyone told me that we were meant to be together and that I should forgive her and take her, my ex, back, including my own family and friends. They said, for your daughter's sake, you got to do it. The thing was, I had fallen out of love with my ex by then, but nobody forgave me, and my daughter grew up listening to our family blaming me for the divorce.
Okay.
I always kept showing my daughter that she was my only priority, and with time, I even told her what really happened, hoping she would understand better how nuanced relationships are. Nobody was at fault, and both her mom and I loved her very much. I don't know how I failed there or what more I should have done so she wouldn't resent me the way she did and still does. When I met my wife, all my daughter's hope for her parents to be together was now gone, and she hated my wife. By then, she was already 17, and it was harder for both my wife and I to have a relationship with her. I didn't regret going against everyone when I didn't want my old marriage back, because I believed and still believe that it is my decision, and it is the right one. I'm sorry to say I'm going against everyone now, too, including my wife, and I'm not going to attend my daughter's wedding. She has made zero effort to have a relationship with me since she moved out. She has refused to meet her two brothers, and even now, she isn't that much interested in me attending as much as having her father walk her because it would be embarrassing otherwise. It's time my daughter learned that actions have consequences. To answer why my daughter doesn't have a beef with her mother's boyfriend, I can only speculate, but my ex met her partner a bit later in life. Had she met someone while both my ex and I were single and my ex had chosen to move on, my daughter probably would have blamed them for breaking her family instead. It just happened to be my beautiful wife that took the biggest chunk of the blame and resentment.
Dang.
Before John and I give our breakdown, OKOP gang, what do you think? Do we got any angels? Do we got any a-holes? Is everyone an a-hole? Tell us, what would you do? Put it in the comments. John, what do you think?
I think it gets a lot trickier when it's like, it seems like the daughter doesn't want OP's wife for that reason.
If you're having a wedding, you get to choose who you invite.
Ultimately,
yes.
invite,
right?
Yes.
Right? So what is the most charitable and nice thing to do? Like if she was an absolute angel, it would probably be to invite her dad's whole family and like try to rekindle some kind of relationship with her dad, just because her dad, you know, found love that wasn't her mom. Doesn't like she shouldn't hold a grudge against him for that, right? But I understand that it's very hard maybe to do that, especially when it happens young. So I think they're both being a little petty.
I would make it known, like, listen, I want the rest of my family to be here, but I'm also like, I don't think I would like to make a stand, like,
No,
you know, not go.
But it's not like who has the right to do something bad. It's like, how can we be the most good, right? I feel like both of these people are missing the bar a little bit.
Or we can floor the gas, and you know what?
Or an eye for an eye, baby. Let me stab an icicle in your freaking eye socket. Okay, but John and I are just two people. Do you agree with what we said? Do you disagree? Tell us why, please. Toast or roast us. Take us down a notch. Cut our testicles off and put them in a jar of formaldehyde, if you so choose.
Or don't. Or you could pass on that.